I feel obligated to protect people with glasses because they'll never get to fully see how good they look without them. I told my friend that, and she's like, "Are you saying that I look ugly with my glasses?" I'm like, no, like what I'm saying is like that's just something you'll never get to fully experience, and like I recognize that, and I feel like, and then I started feeling bad, I started feeling misunderstood, and now I'm walking around with 2020 guilt, and it's like I joined a rec league baseball league because it's really hard to watch my elders become idiots. They're like, Aaron, like, why is you throwing the ball hard as hell? Like, since when did you have that kind of power? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, it's because Sister Tammy fell for 3 scams this week. Like, it takes a village. These are people that raised me. You know what I mean? Were they always this stupid? Like, you know what I mean? Did they never know what they were doing, or is this new? Like, start questioning everything. And it's hit the ball hard as hell when you do that. I want to have like 7 daughters because I believe that might help me eliminate how I feel about myself. I gotta stay busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my daughter's gonna be like, Dad, I don't want to go to piano lessons and soccer practice for the 3rd time this week. And I'm like, listen, honey, you're in a bunch of extracurricular activities because we live way too close to the liquor store. And if I keep feeling like this, you're not gonna have a dad anymore. In the future, I have a drinking problem. I don't talk to the West Indian side of my family because I couldn't convince them that I like coconut chips. Like, them things, they would mess up the roof of your mouth, like, badly. Like, they would just, Yeah, they make fun. Like, I pull up to the family function, they're like, oh, look, Bleedy Gums is back in Boston. I'm like, okay, well, Bleedy Gums has dental insurance. I'm like, all right, okay, well, go see if Grandma is proud of those ruby whites, She's not proud of the ruby whites. She's very disappointed that I don't eat coconut chips. I know that I would be a good parent because I've always had a knack for ruining a good time. Like, even back in the day in high school and stuff, like, we'd be at a party and my friend would be chilling. Like, he'd be like, this is one of the greatest nights of my life. Like, this party was lit. This is the best night of my life by a long shot. And then I bust in the room like, guys, I just called the cops because this marijuana is giving me really bad anxiety. I feel like my brother went to jail just so he could prove how much he really is the favorite son. Like, he's saying, like, these excuses that they're making for my actions are becoming, like, more and more wild by the day, right? And I'm like, did you use your one phone call just to tell me that? Like, I'm a grown man. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not worried about that. But then I do worry about it because I wrote a joke about it. I'm sitting there like, he's going to get off again. Like, guilty as hell. He's going to get off again, of course. I had to call my mom's doctor because I found a full loaf of bread in the toilet. And I was talking to him like, this has to be early signs of dementia, right? Like, this has to be. And he's like, nah, I don't think so. I think Dolores is trying to say that you can't bake for shit. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, she's been saying like you don't listen, and so the only way to like get you to listen is to take your baked goods and throw them in the toilet where they belong. Whoops. I just bought a pet bunny rabbit because chubby cheeks is what I look for in a friendship nowadays. The store clerk's like, which one do you want? Like, which one would you like to take home? I'm like, oh, just whichever one's like too adorable to never betray me, you know? So we got cages for that. We'll give you a discount because it looks like you need it, you know. I like watching street magicians. I like watching street magicians because mental illness will always be entertaining. Always. That's biblical. That's a biblical law. Like, mental illness is always entertaining. And like, okay, are all street magicians mentally ill? No. But I do think that they were very entertained by how stupid I used to be. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh wow, they really did steal my nose. I used to love going to the hospital because that was the only place that I could have a real conversation with my granddad. He'd be laying there like, hey, Sonny. Oh, I don't have any caramel candies on me. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. Why did my auntie call you by your first name? He's like, oh, I really wish I had those caramel candies right now. I'm not allowed back in my hometown because I sold everyone in my neighborhood lemonade with melted ice flavoring. They're like, did you just charge me $6.99 for a glass of water? I'm like, no, it's melted ice flavoring. Your taste buds aren't sophisticated enough to understand this. Like, this delicacy, like, this is huge in Europe. I swear to God. I've eaten at a lot of nice restaurants because I don't forgive people for free. The waiter's like, what brings you guys in today? I'm like, well, he gave my dog the wrong medication, so now we're here. Waiter's like, guilt and pleasure, the greatest combo since bacon, egg, and cheese. Is that the specials? Yeah. The only reason I listen to acoustic guitar music is because I still believe that I'm gonna find love one day. They're like, my friends are like, have you tried opening up to people? I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I wish you told me that before I updated my playlist. Now I'm listening to Lana Del Rey. Like, we should have spoke. I guess that's the problem, right? I don't talk. There you go. Okay. I still hang out with dudes from my old like middle school because I'm really scared of success. I'm like, yo, let's smoke some weed and hit the like basketball courts like we used to, yo. They're like, don't you have a drug test for that new job tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, but I feel like if I pass it, then I'll never see you again. I've been tucking in my shirts on weekdays because I haven't realized what I'm starting to become yet. Like, I went to my cousin's graduation party. He's like, sir, this is a private event. We're gonna have to ask you to leave. I was like, Davis, it's me. He's like, oh, Aaron? What the fuck? What are you doing dressed like that? What are you doing? Like, do you forget where you come from? Like, I try to speak at charity events because I want my need for validation to look like an inspiration to the youth. I'm like, oh look at this. Take a look. They called it brave and powerful on the morning news today. They're like, your Instagram story is not the morning news. I don't fall for AI scams because I know what the definition of a loved one is. You know, like, you know, my friends like, how could you tell that wasn't your cousin on the phone? How could you tell that was a robot? I'm like, they could tell. Like, it's pretty easy. Like, no, that sounded just like your cousin. How could you tell? It's in the voice. Like, I don't know. Like, my cousin always sounds like he's in the mood for ramen noodles. Like, you can't really recreate that with software, you know. It's a gut feeling. You can kind of, you know. I'm like, that was not him. Giving me a hug is really painful right now because my appetite is rapidly decreasing. I'm like, they're like, isn't it good that you're losing weight? I'm like, yeah, but now I can't comfort a friend in need because my collarbone is pointy as hell. Like, you're gonna poke you at you. I've been going to the art museum a lot lately because calling my mom back is on the bottom of my list of chores. The staff guy is like, oh wow, you must really like modern art. I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's like, well, you're here all the time. Oh, well, that's because I know what it's like to have someone that you love not know anything about you. I get into a lot of arguments because most of my opinions are made 2 seconds after you ask me a question. My friend's like, do you really think long johns are better than boxer briefs? You really believe that? I'm like, yeah, as long as you don't believe that, then I believe that, yeah, for sure. You can tell that my worst qualities move in silence because I'm really heavy-handed on the compliments I give to myself. I feel like people in the neighborhood are like, Aaron's walking really confident lately. I'm like, yeah, well, that's because I decided that my decision-making skills are very good now. They're like, is this like the time that you decided that you're gonna go professional and duck goose? I'm like, hey man, them YouTube videos made it seem like really possible. History class was like my mom and dad because it was always trying to give me something to cry about. And my teacher's like, why are you so unfazed by learning the ins and outs of human suffering? I'm like, oh, it was the doctor's recommendation. I went vegan because I wanted to convince my friends that I was a rich kid with too much free time. They're like, how do you know that you're one of us? I'm like, okay, well, I care about animals more than I care about people. They're like, oh, yeah, you're one of us. Come on, somebody get this man a sweater vest and some almond milk ice cream. Come join the country club. Works every time. I dropped out of college because I wanted to be the inventor of avocado bacon. I'm like, yeah, I swear to God, I believe anything can taste like bacon with enough seasoning. And they're like, why did you bring this to my potluck? I'm like, I thought you guys would like it. Because they're the kind of guys that use like the word traumatized too often. So I figured you'd be nicer to me. Guess not. It's not that nasty. I wanted to prove to my teacher that I made it. Okay.